Hello everyone, in this course I'm going to quickly show you how to use the modifier stack to create very cool geometry. The advantage of using the modifier stack is you don't really have to model anything. You don't have to model anything or edit any mesh. It's all done in the modifier stack, and what's nice about this is you can quickly create very detailed designs, and there is no manual editing of the mesh required. And let's say we add, first of all, we're going to delete our cube. And then we're going to add a plane. And I'm going to scale it to something like, so I'm going to press S on the keyboard, something like 6 should be good. And then I'm going to click on add modifier here. Make sure you got this enabled, the wrench icon here. So you want to click on that and then add modifier, then go to, let's find it here. It should be subdivide. And I want to set that all the way up to 8. And you will see why we do this later. But I do want to keep it on simple. And what this does is it basically subdivides it into many parts, but it doesn't alter the overall shape either. So it doesn't smooth the corners, which is very important. So make sure that's on simple. And then we are going to add a displace modifier next. So where is it? Let's just find that. Okay, it's right here. So I'm going to add a displace modifier. Then I'm going to go to a texture, and I'm going to make a new texture. And for this one, I believe it's going to be clouds. And then I'm going to go to cell noise. And let's see what settings I used. I believe I had this on something. I think this actually, I'm going to leave this as default and we'll see how it looks. So let's go back to a modifier stack and we can set this to negative 2.2 or sorry, negative 0.22. And then we can go back and so let's just explain what's going on here. So what we got is we got a heavily subdivided mesh, and then we are using that mesh and displacing it, which gives us lots of details here. But you notice our face count is kind of high, so we can actually decimate that a little bit. Yeah, so we're going to decimate that, and we're going to use planar decimate, and we could just set that to something, I believe that would be 1, and look how much our face count went down. So we went from all the way to 65,000 down to 4,000, which is a huge improvement, and nothing really, there's no detail loss. So after we do that, what we want to do is we want to add another modifier, which is the wireframe. And make sure you always add these in the correct order because the modifier stack order is very important. So I'm going to go to wireframe. So let's find where that is. And that's here. So I'm going to go to wireframe, and I believe I set this to something really low. I'm going to set it to 0.006 is what I think I had it at. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. So you can see we got our design here, and what we're basically doing is we're subdividing our mesh, then we're displacing it. After that, we're decimating it. And you can see if we disable the decimate, we kind of get a cool look, but we don't really want that. We just want the decimate enabled. Otherwise, it leaves all the mesh intact and it's just too much. And you can do all sorts of things, like you can do collapse and then like collapse various parts of it. And let's do something like 0.2. I'm not going to use this for the final example, but just showing you how powerful this kind of workflow is. And you can see you can do all sorts of things. But for now, I'm just going to leave that back to planar and leave that as 1. And then for wireframe, I'm going to leave that as 0.006. I think I had it at 0.0061, so I'm going to set it back to that. Not sure if it makes any difference though. But after that, I'm going to set it to subdivide. And depending on your computer speed, it may take a little while for it to calculate this, but let's just wait for that to load. And yeah, so we're going to turn that viewport quality up to 2, just to get a more of a final look. And yeah, so to get your final render, you're just going to put your camera into position, find a nice background. And yeah, this is a pretty cool design, all created with modifiers, no modeling required. So all procedural. And I'll have more videos on this if you guys want them. This was just kind of a quick tip. And I'm going to make more of these courses in the future. So yeah, subscribe, like the video if you have any suggestions. Yeah, I'd like to hear them. Thank you.